everybody, and welcome to the next in my series of listens to classic albums for the first time. Not sure that entirely made sense what I said then, but you'd get the gist. Today, we've got a bit of soul. Listen to What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Marvin's a funny one with me because much as I love soul and Motown soul, never really done Marvin. Until very recently, I'm not sure I had anything of his in my collection. I have 2 months ago maybe got a great deal on the CD box set of all of Motown's #1 singles. 11, 12 discs, I think it is, well over 100 tracks. Obviously there's quite a bit of Marvin Gaye on that, so having listened through that, I'm now a bit more familiar with Marvin. But really, all I really knew was what was on the radio, so, you know, I heard it through a grapevine, the title track of this. That's about it. Cover versions of a couple of tracks I was familiar with. His daughter, Nona Gaye, does a cover of Inner City Blues on the 1-800-NEW-FUNK compilation of artists signed to Prince's MPG Records. Yeah, that's more or less all I knew, so this is going to be interesting. So it's on Tamla, the more serious side of Motown, if you like. This is a new copy. I think it was a deal of the day from recordstore.co.uk at the start of lockdown. So yeah, I know the title track, Mercy Mercy Me, Inner City Blues. I think a couple more tracks on the box set, bear with me. This is the said box set. I will be showing it properly in a later video. I say later, might have actually gone up by the time you watch this. Let's see, let's find the relevant era. Will it be this one? The next one, I think. Or the previous one. I will find it. Yeah, so where does it start? So yeah, What's Going On, Mercy Mercy Me, Inner City Blues. Oh no, it's just those three that are on here. So those tracks I know, and they're all tracks I like. But it'll be interesting to hear the rest. Obviously this is his political album, so I will try and pay particular attention to the lyrics while I'm listening to it. They are as much a part of this album as the music. So we've got the lyrics as well printed, so I might read along. And just a plain white inner sleeve, cardboard. There's the labels. Okay, so let's give it a spin and I'll be back in a bit with my opinion. Interesting. I liked it. I liked it a lot, but not quite what I was expecting. For those of you who, like me, aren't familiar with the album, the first side in particular is pretty much, certainly musically, one track that flows all the way through the album. It varies slightly depending on the song to sort of fit the melody, but bear with me, reminds me a bit of Jive Bunny in so much as it's just got the same beat going all the way through all six tracks. The beat just stays the same relentlessly throughout, and it's just the music on top of it that changes slightly to fit the songs. That's what I meant by being a bit like Jive Bunny. No, obviously, you know what I mean. Yeah, it seemed to me, although the music was great and it was played beautifully and it all sounded amazing, it almost seemed like the music was sort of secondary to the message he was trying to get across. Even for a lot of the songs, there was no real melody. it was more he was singing to fit the words than to fit them to a tune. But we'll go through. So it starts with the title track, What's Going On, which is a famous track, great track. Got the little party-ish, people talking intro and a little smooth sax solo, and then it goes into the beat and the track that will then last for the next however many minutes. 4, 7, 10, 14, 16, about 20 minutes. Musically it's almost like a typical Motown vibe, but then the politicalness of the lyrics take it that little step above your normal Motown track. This track in particular is sort of anti-war and also anti the reaction to the protests that were going on about the Vietnam War and all the violence against the peaceful protesters. But it's an amazing song. Then that goes into What's Happening Brother, which is basically about his brother who came back from the Vietnam War. So musically it's pretty much the same. It does morph slightly, but it's just got a very similar vibe. And as I say, it's about him coming back from war and finding out what's going on, if you pardon the pun. Sorry, I'm getting an echo against the record lid, so let me put that down and hopefully that'll stop. In fact, it might even have been the needle picking up my voice. That goes into Flying High in a Friendly Sky, which you might think is a song about a pilot or something like that, but no, it's a drug song. It's about heroin addiction. I found the music on that one was almost slightly jumbled, almost as if you were listening to it on heroin. It was pretty much, followed normal musical patterns, but it was just slightly off in places. Or maybe I was stoned, one of the two. And that goes into Save the Children, which was largely spoken, but with backing vocals until you get to the end where it turns into proper singing, if you like. It's, as the title suggests, it's a song about saving deprived children and also saving the planet so that there is a planet for these children in the future. Probably my least favourite track on here, he says, before going into the next one. No, the next one was my least favourite. It's a track called God Is Love. I don't want to offend anybody watching this, but my notes for this say religious claptrap. It's just basically, it's called God Is Love. It's basically just a song praising God and Jesus, and that's not my bag. And we'll leave that there. Side one ends with Mercy, Mercy Me, brackets the ecology, which slightly shifts in the backing. It's still got the same beat, but musically it morphs a bit more than the previous tracks, particularly the guitars. Obviously, going by the title, brackets the ecology, it's about ecology and saving the planet and what's going on with the planet. Again, that wasn't deliberate, saying what's going on. For the first time since the title track, this has sort of got a proper tune. It's not just him singing the words. Great sax solo at the end as well. So that was side one. And side two, musically completely different from side one. Opens with Right On, which is a long track. It is 7 minutes 15 seconds. Sort of got a Latin vibe for most of it, and then towards the end it gets a bit more funky and dirty. Nice flute at the start as well. I wasn't quite sure what he was saying lyrically, the way I interpreted it, and I might be wrong. Is that he's basically saying it doesn't matter who you are, your background, whether you're rich, poor, whatever, as long as you've got love for other people. That's how I interpreted it. I might be wrong. That goes into Holy Holy. It does segue a bit, but it's not as, it hasn't got the jive bunniness. It goes into a different tune entirely. Holy Holy is basically another religious song about people coming together to celebrate God. It's a slower song from the rest of the album, pretty much. Lovely strings on it. I like the strings on it, but otherwise, again, subject matter not really for me. And then it ends with Inner City Blues Make Me Wanna Holler, which is a good, funky, it wouldn't be out of place musically, at least, in a blaxploitation film. It's got that sort of vibe to it. Basically, he's moaning about, you know, money spent on things like war and the space race and things like that, when it should be going to the impoverished people who need it. But yeah, really great track. And then towards the end, it goes back into the title track to sort of round the album off really nicely. So yeah, I did enjoy it. You know, there's the religious side of it isn't for me, but you know, Prince sings plenty of religious songs, and I don't mind those. But this was a bit preachy. It was just the way it was done. It wasn't, you know, it doesn't offend me or anything silly like that, but it's just not really my bag, as I say. But yeah, good album. Did enjoy it. Will play it many times, I am sure. Yeah, very good. Okay, please send me your recommendations for classic albums you feel I should listen to. It may be that I have heard them, in which case I will just say thank you, but I've already heard them. But hopefully you'll suggest things that I've not heard and that I can pick up and give a go and see if I love them. But it is purely my taste. I've had on previous videos people criticising me and being pretty offensive towards me because my taste doesn't tie up with theirs. Sod them, you know, is my response to that. It's, you know, this is my opinion. We all have different tastes in music. Otherwise there'd just be one band playing one song that everybody loves and that'll be it. You know, there would be no need for all this wonderful music if we all liked exactly the same thing. Anyway, yes, please send me your recommendations, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.